Hello friends, welcome back to Ashapkat's Redemption. We've just exited the Galleon Tunnel and killed another Reaper. In fact, we killed the same Reaper. And we are probably going to switch to another party. We've made all the upgrades necessary. We have 2 wounded, but that won't be an issue. We can heal both of them. It will take 21 strixes, we have plenty, but it will also pass 1 day. And I kinda don't want that to happen, so let's just move on. Your next goal is the triple manier, judging by what Reed said. You hope that it will cure the redhead. She's losing her battle with the Reaper's curse.
No potion can heal this curse, because its root is in another's hands.
Yes, so we're moving to chapter 4 and we're switching to Hopper Rouley. Alright, the curse power dropped to 16%. How soon will Tom realize that maniers do not cure in real time? You should intercept him at the double manier. Where is the double manier? I think it's here. Anyway, we have to go through the Odolon Pass, the road running through the mountain valley between the Albius Manier and the Cheranan Tower, the border of Cherana and the way to get to the old Gebonan Road and the Berkanan Road. The valley itself is wide and shallow and well traveled year round. You feel the reaping grows stronger, its shadow falls upon you. The curse that has crippled your arm is reaching for your heart. If you give up and feed some of your power to the enchantment, you can prevent the reaping from growing stronger. If you resist and conserve your energy, the dark magic will tighten its grip on the world. If you resist, let's give in. The curse power will rise, but the dark magic will remain the same. Yeah. And we got a skill point. The blackness on your hand creeps upward, sapping your strength and chilling your heart, and yet the reaping halts, if only for a while. You console yourself knowing that your suffering lessens the evil engulfing terminum. Okay, so it increased by 8%. You camp for the night and try to get some sleep, but Ake keeps pestering you. The giant warrior begins with a story about Isanan temple servants who scatter and hide when the primarch of the Temple of Divine Retribution leaves his bedchamber. What scares them isn't the Divine Retribution, but the prospect of being summoned into said bedchamber. Tell Ake about the old religion of Terminum. You silence Ake's tall tale and offer a terribly heretical story in exchange. You tell him that the Divine Retribution occurred on the day of the vernal equinox, in the year 1998, by the old reckoning. If you could travel back in time, you could encounter the one called the Thrice-Arrived One. Aki grows pale, aware of the terrible punishment awaiting anyone who so much as mentions that name. However, curiosity gets the best of him and he begs you to continue. You tell him about a traveler who was killed in one of the villages in Terminum. The villagers tossed his body over the fence, but the next day the man came back. Once more, he was tortured to death, his body burned. The next morning, however, he was standing outside the palisade. The villagers tried to kill him again, but couldn't approach, and then they all lost their minds. Akim all swings over. So what's the wisdom in this fable? He asks. Or is it not a fable? If it wasn't a man but a god, why did he return again and again? Why didn't he punish the villagers? And what was the village called? You shrug. I don't know who he was, or why he kept coming back, but if he was trying to highlight the vileness of human nature, he succeeded. I personally believe that he was in actuality killed a third time. Do you know why? Because 1002 years ago, the divine retribution started in that very village. Ake goes quiet and asks no more questions. Alright. So this is the road that Thorn Brenin took. So let's go this way. Ake raises his hand and you stop. The giant responds to your inquisitive stare with a grin. There's a ruined tavern nearby, which means my hiding place isn't that far off either. Left some stuff there a couple of years ago, had to drop off some loot so I could travel faster. Who knows what you might need in time like this? Wait here, scribe. You shrug as Ake disappears into the forest. Everyone has a past, and the giants is not something you want to bother with. Why would he call a ruined tavern the ruins, though? Maybe that's what the eerie hag's clue is all about. Your thoughts are interrupted by Ake. The giant seems flustered. Can you believe it? There are actual bandits in the forest, drinking booze with a captive tied to a tree. There aren't many people, but the meadow is like a herd of pigs mocked it up. Well, I guess they are pigs. They were so hammered they didn't even notice me, and I'm hardly inconspicuous. I decided against getting into a fight without your orders. It's a good reason to start thinking. It'd be great to investigate in the ruins, but what about the bandits? Should we ask Ake to kill them all, or should we avoid the risk and wait until they're gone? You can also wait and strangle the drowsy bandits at night, one by one like kittens. All this trouble will only pay off though if there's actually something in the ruins. If you can really call a ruined tavern like that. Attack the bandits now. Eke grins like a predator and asks you to wait. Soon everyone disappears in the forest. Thanks to them, you don't have to run around the forest looking for drunk bandits. As much as you'd like to, you cannot make others do all your work. Minutes later, the meadow is swarmed by some suspicious ant people. They all stare at you. You see, drawing your sword. Alright, let's level up first. Okay, I need one more point somewhere. Actually, I need another one. Fine. Fine, there you go. Ooh. Okay, we've got a lot of enemies here. I think the archers are the most dangerous ones. I'm going to put myself here. Oh, this guy is almost dead. I'm just gonna stay here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oof, almost dead. Alright. We won. One skill point gained. When the battle ends, you look for your companions. Confirming all the bandits have been dealt with, you free the prisoner. Bowing low, he introduces himself as Oscar. Noticing your interest in the ruins, he tells you something strange occurred there at night. Oh, another skill point gained. You ask Oscar for details. After his kidnappers drank themselves to sleep, the tavern was engulfed in a scarlet fog. Oscar swears that it formed a phrase. You will find one on the two. Oh. You thank Oscar, but decide to explore the ruins on your own. You find nothing suspicious, nor any traces of magic. Back in the meadow, you discover that Oscar has already vanished. Aki tells you that his hiding place has been rummaged. Shrugging, you continue on your way. this thing. Let's level up again. Let's get this. Mental blast. Oh yes, I want devouring blow. Cooldown 3 deals 28 damage and increases your health by 14. Alright. Black Fell. A bond clearing that crosses the wood, convenient for travelers undaunted by wild animals or thugs. Already broken and unkept, but still a decent road traversing the desolate lands near the spurs of the Milky Mountains. Let's go this way. You feel the reaping grow stronger, its shadow falls upon you. The curse that has crippled your heart is reaching for your heart. If you give up and feed some of your power to the enchantment, you can prevent the reaping from growing stronger. Okay, the same as before, so we should... the curse power will increase to 32%, I think. There's actually an achievement that you can get if you give in to the curse always when the game asks you to. On the outskirts of a roadside village, you spot a manor-like stone pillar. Many of these obelisks were erected in ancient times by villagers hoping to attract the gods' grace to their settlements. At the time, the sick had already begun their pilgrimages to the manors for healing, and the Temple of Divine Retribution wasn't nearly as powerful as it is today. In remembrance, you press 3 fingers to your brow, then your lips, then your heart. Ake stares at you wide-eyed. What's all that pointing you're doing? The 3 corners, the zigzag, is this a sign of the tune? I've seen that gesture somewhere, but can't remember for the life of me. Maybe a vandal worshipping his idol or a god at a manor. What does it mean? Temple servants usually just bury their heads in their hands and face the nearest wall. Try to explain. You smile. No, the tune doesn't have a special sign. Some call it 3 corners or a zigzag. Some don't have a name for it. You simply press 3 fingers symbolizing the triple manner, first to the forehead, then to the lips, then to the heart. It means I remember, I praise, I love, or I think, I preserve, I keep, whichever you prefer. Ake shakes his head in frustration. Don't muddy the waters. Who do you remember, praise, and love? What do you think about preserve and keep? What in the blaze does it all mean? You see, you sound like a temple overseer, Ake, looking for heresy everywhere. Once upon a time, this was simply a greeting used by one of the heralds who descended into this world during the Divine Retribution. His name was Miketh. He and the other heralds went from village to village giving hope to the survivors. He also said that any stone can be as a manor, if you seek grace within. It takes some time to sink in. I see, says Ake, but what use is this grace? A pillar is a pillar, a manor's a manor. It's all worth considering, but I'm afraid that all that thinking will crack my skull. Hunter's track. Let's use the hunter's track. A track used by beasts, hunters, and trappers alike, overgrown with underbrush in some parts, cuts and mounds may find it difficult to travel. You approach the stockade enclosing a manor called the Arch. Seems like Thorn's been here. Ansis paid the place a visit too. You see blood and sword shards by the gate. One of the masks lies in the dirt. The gate is opened by a stocky, gloomy soldier. He scans your group with suspicion, finally resting his gaze on Ake. The giant warrior dismounts, handing the guard the papers. You do likewise and approach the guard. Good. This is Vegan. Good day to you, travelers. Vegan, head watchman of this harbor. I'm in this stockade. At your service. I'll gladly see your papers. Do you have them on you? Hand them over here, please. Let's see who you are. Oh. Oh, that's no help. This probably ain't the first time you've seen Prince Trick Seal. Are you gonna pretend you don't know who I am? I've got several questions for you, Vegan. Answer me, and it'll be like I was never here. For starters, tell me, do you know Captain Thorn Brenin? True, I must abide by this seal of yours, but that's no excuse for threats. And I've seen much greater ones, as has my old comrade Todd. He passed through here with a party, helped us fend off the answers he did. Did Todd have a blonde, green-eyed lad with him? Yeah, I saw someone like that. Looked a lot like Prince Ho. Mind you, I've not seen him in a long while. But the two lads have a lot in common, I swear. What is Todd's party like? Are they all warriors? Who knows? Not like my sore ass rode alongside them. They fight well, the rest remains to be seen. Did Thorn lose any men fighting the answers? You could say so. One of his veterans was messed up. We buried this Krieger on the hill outside the stockade, not in the local cemetery. The villagers are pious. They don't need something like that near their homes. What do you mean by messed up? You're not making any damn sense. What was wrong with Krieger? Will you tell me or not?
Hey!
If I knew magic like the back of my hand, I would. As it stands, I don't know shit. If you're so damn curious, have a look for yourself. Maybe the gods cursed him, or some sorcerer corrupted him. Do you know where Thorn was headed? He asked the way to Ursus, so I gather that's where he said it. From here, it's either go to Ursus or go home. If memory serves, he wanted to visit the manor. Whom did he ask? Did he talk to anyone else in the stockade? I'm the only one he knows here. He only spoke to his companions, maybe some merchants too. No, wait, there was someone else, a seer. She calls herself Chila. That's her tent over by the manor. She herself has vanished. Interesting. It'd be worthwhile to check the tent. It's not every day you hear stories of vanishing seers. I have no further questions. Alright, let's check out the tent. Let's check out the grave first. You decide to examine Krieger's grave and ask Vegan to accompany you. He'd probably rather join a battle or some other risky undertaking. But he can't decline your request. Reluctantly, he leads you up a hill. You find yourself in front of a recent burial site, topped with a large boulder. The head watchman speaks. This is where the boys and I buried him, a good distance from the village. I should have burned him, I guess. When this all began, I thought the white masked abominations with their strange swords were the worst horrors I'd ever see. I've since changed my mind. Aki shrugs. Why fear corpses? Fear the living. What are all those stakes for? And a huge sodding boulder on top. Now we're gonna dig the grave up and drag the corpse out by its toe. As Krieger's corpse comes into view, your companions recoil. Even Ake grows pale. Vegan wipes cold sweat from his brow. You approach the grave and, undeterred by the unsightly remains, document the sight in your journal. The others look on with both fear and respect. Once the sketch is complete, you turn around. No one utters a word. They all look to you for guidance, but they'll need to face their own fears all the same. As a man of letters, a scribe may seem like a madman at times, but without a scribe's curiosity, there wouldn't be any chronicles. You see a beast, I see a victim of terrible sorcery. What's the mark on his chest? What could have left it? A captain insignia, what else? Krieger was a commander of young soldiers and captain of the guard in Albius. Oh yes, he had his captain's insignia. Thorn took it. Nearly burned his fingers, that's how hot it was. That's both good and bad news. Bad that the streaks can't protect you from this plague, but good that it doesn't become dangerous like the menace. Fear not, he isn't dangerous. Shit, what was that? I didn't just fall off a turnip cut. I've heard tales of sorcerers and shapeshifters, but they don't exist, do they? No, they don't, and this is no shapeshifter. The fangs and talons are akin to the marks of people's necks. This reaping will be the worst one yet, I reckon. Imagine an entire pack of such beasts. You may rebury the corpse, no need for stakes. The locals believe them necessary. Now, if it's not too much trouble, please ask your strongman to roll the boulder back into the grave. I'll manage the stakes. Think what you will, but I've no intention of scaring anyone. All right, okay, please help us with the stone. There's no need to trouble the locals. With the reaping afoot, let them believe what they want and fear what they'd like to. It does more good than harm. No trouble at all. Truth be told, I wouldn't mind having a stone like this atop my own grave when the time comes, just in case. Okay, let's see. Let's check the seer stand. This is where the old seer rested. She foretold every ants attack, for which I'm grateful. Without her, we might have failed. She spoke to Thorn and then disappeared while we were fighting the ants. She left some of her possessions behind. Her tent is still here. Were her hands black by any chance? No. I saw no sign of such illness. She was wearing a dress with long sleeves, cuffed at the wrist, and had stone bracelets on each arm, but her hands looked clean. She made predictions, you say. What did it look like? How did she prophesy? Did she rant or chant? There's a difference? No, she didn't do any of that. It seemed more like she was raving, only she guessed right every single time. Stood over here, she did, squinted at the sun, then turned and spoke. Be ready, vegan, she said. 12.5 ants are skirting the edge of the forest, and every time things happen exactly as she said they would. Did she do any sorcery, mix potions perhaps? No, she brought a salve to help with the neck aches, but she claimed it came from the Ursus temple. It's already running out. What struck me was that she kept chuckling under her breath, had a fearsome look in her eyes too. She also touched the menhir, but warned us not to. And that warning wasn't groundless, I tell you. What did she say to Thorn? Can you recall anything? Should I have listened in on their conversation? That's beneath me, but it seems Chila had been waiting just for him or his daughter. She spoke with her too, quick as a whip, Thorn's daughter. Listen, I also recall them mentioning Onda, the healer lady from Ursus. You don't seem to enjoy talking about Chila. She's no old crone, Hopper. Half the village is old women. I know all about them. Chila doesn't walk, talk, or even smell like one. The way she moves, it'd be the envy of any young lass. That is why I do not think she's human. Well, vegan, what if I'm not human either? My back doesn't ache and I don't reek of old age. I used to stand at the gate with a tall man. I could see through any rigged cart, you know. But Chila, it was like looking through fogged glass. Couldn't see a thing. She read my thoughts through the whole conversation, simple as they may be. And then she vanished. Here one moment, gone the next. The gate was closed the whole time. I need to go. If you see Chila, tell her that Blanche is looking for her. Hold a moment, friend. There's something else I need to tell you, but I can't quite remember what it is. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Is it about the double menhir? Wait, have you ever heard the expression one on the two? The two is a nickname we gave our menhir. When people say I'll meet you at the two, they mean the two menhir stones. Funny in a way, given how you can walk the whole stockade from end to end in 5 minutes. What could one on the two refer to? A sign, a ribbon, a mark? Hang on, Chila always so perplexed. As soon as you said plants, I remembered. She didn't just touch the menhir. She etched something into its surface. She told me to mention it to Blance whenever he stopped by. Will you go and have a look? Could be some kind of curse, mind you. Best be careful. Too late to steer clear of curses. I need to think it over. The strange seer has left a message for you on the menhir. Vegan hobbles to the menhir with you. I ask her, what's the use in writing something nobody can see? And she said, Unda knows what she's doing, even when she's scribbling on dungeon walls. Whoever it's meant for will read it. Even if they don't, these inscriptions vanish in a couple of days. Could it be that Unda is the healer lady from Ursus? You brush Vegan off, make a mental note of Unda's dungeon wall scribblings and examine the sacred stone. There's an inscription, indeed, but it's hazy, same as the one in the Albius bell tower you recall so vividly. This inscription isn't easy to read. You'll have to undo someone else's magic. What will you get out of it? The beginning of the spell that will save you, or another blackened hand? You unweave the spell obscuring the inscription. Before they fade, the runes on the stone shine brightly and clearly, etching themselves into your memory, taking to yourself that which you can take, for there is no one else to take it. So basically we have to give in to the curse power whenever we can. Alright, that was it. It's time to continue your journey. As you're about to leave the stockade, Vegan approaches you. I'm no rebel, but I'll speak my mind. You're chasing Thorn, but he's broken no laws and committed no acts worthy of reproach. That is what I believe. You smile. These days everyone has warnings for me, but every other warning is a threat. It'd be best get used to it. Let me bid you farewell, Vegan. I've tarried here more than I intended. Vegan, however, takes the reins of your horse, a clear signal that the conversation isn't over. With a "C," you dismount. Hold a moment, I have to tell you something. Old age hits you hardest, not in the back or knees, but in the memory. But I remember, damn it. What do you remember, Vegan? Spit it out. It's bad luck to muddy farewells with talk. Who cares about bad luck when the reaping is upon us? No matter how you spin it, it can't get any worse. I just remembered something Chira said the moment she arrived. I'd forgotten all about it in the turmoil, but now it struck me like lightning. She may have been raving, but this is what she said. The wise will take to heart what the foolish won't hear. There are holes and holes. One bites, the other brags and moralizes. Talk to those eager to talk. Sometimes the tongue knows more than the head. What's it all supposed to mean? I don't know yet, Vegan, but I'll think about it. Good luck to you now. Don't be too quick to judge your friends old or new. The day for that has yet to come. You leave the stockade. You've managed to conceal the shock seeing Krieger in his grave, yet you remain unsettled. You've witnessed worse during previous reapings and times of turmoil, but now you feel the prickling of genuine fear. 1,000 years ago, the last reaping bore the same fruit elsewhere. Those ousted from that land ended up in Terminum. Talons, fangs, self-inflicted genocide, all omens of a dying world. What could it mean now? Is the end of Terminum nigh? Or could it be the awakening of the same one who set your world ablaze? Could the magic of the tolling bells be protecting Berkana from the same horrible fate? You look to your blackened hand but find no answer. Your heart, beating heavy in your chest, fills with a sense of inevitability.
Hope is like the sun. It turns red and goes out. Should we wait for a new dawn?
All right, we are switching to Thorn again. Our goal is to reach Ursus in search of a mysterious lady healer called Unda. So we are here. And we have multiple paths to we have a obstrixis. Okay, let's take the old Gabonan road because it's the shortest route. Already broken and unkept, but still a decent road traversing the desolate lands near the spurs of the Milky Mountains. We have good morale, Thorn Brenin. When you camp for the night, your companions gather around the campfire and entertain each other with stories and fairy tales. You have two options: tell everyone except the night watch to go to sleep, or join the childish story circle. Though fairy tales aren't your forte, you have plenty of tales from your soldiering days. Um, Share an interesting story. Your companions are raptly attentive as you reminiscence about the Pelian campaign, which led you beyond the veil to vanquish a cunning and vicious enemy, earning you your title. You explain why your coat of arms, the very same your shield displays, bears the bow and axis. Your companions praise your courage and become more confident in you as their leader. Okay, 10% more morale. Great. A roadside inn comes into view. Music and cooking smells emanate from within. The place seems overcrowded, but you stop. Your company desperately needs rest. A wandering bard strums a lute inside. He sings monotonously about some hero's wanderings. Where your companions find seats, you notice the lyrics describe events much like your own adventures. Uh, Give your companions a real treat. You listen until the bard finishes the ballad. Then you demand the best food, drinks, and accommodations and pay on the spot. The innkeeper responds with a broad smile and runs off to fulfill your orders. You decide to have a good rest now because it will be your last for a while. Okay, we lost 230 gold. That's nothing. You finish your dinner before you can rise from the table. An inebriated fat man lashes out at the bard. He claims that the bard has butchered and distorted a famous saga about a banner. The other guests try to reason with the drunk. If the song is good, they say it's worth listening to. Suddenly, the inebriate pulls a dagger. Stun the drunken brawler. You approach the drunk brawler from behind and hit his head with a stool. He falls like a tree. You make sure that he's still alive and return to your seat. The regulars watch you in awe as the servants tie the unconscious man with rope and drag him away. The innkeeper offers free accommodations and drinks as thanks for preventing bloodshed. It'd be stupid to turn down such a generous offer, and so you agree to get a refund for what you've already paid. It's a dream come true. Oh, nice. Thank you for giving my money back. The bard is very grateful. As thanks for saving his life, he plays the lute for you all evening. The innkeeper generously treats you to food and drink, and the regulars toast your brave deeds. After a good night's sleep, you continue your journey. The small feast has done much to lift your company's spirits. Ooh, nice. 20% more morale. Alright. I don't think it's worth going this way, but let's check it out. Let's see what's here. We have plenty of strixes. You come across a merchant's cart with a broken wheel. Several guards are busy repairing it. The car is brimming with pots. the kind used to transport oil. The merchant introduces himself as Sid and gestures helplessly at his cart. Offer help. The merchant is fearful of the strange mass murderers seen in these parts. He offers to pay in gold to guard him or take him to the nearest village. Fine. Getting to the nearest village takes a full day, but the merchant rewards you with a heavy purse. Oh, okay. We lost a day. 26 and gained 500 gold. Not that good. Okay, we have a bunch of everyone level up. What do I want? I want more energy. Cooldown, 2 cooldown. Let's make it 0 cooldown. And I want health. Definitely want more health. Subterfuge? No. I think I want +1 attack distance. Yeah. +1 attack. Great. Let's get you more attack. Nice. Sup. Let's get you maximum health. Okay. No cooldown. I mean, 1 round cooldown. What else? No. Okay. So the power absorption skill will no longer cost health. Perfect. Alright, that's it. Finally, the northern German fortress comes into view from behind the trees. Ursus used to be a small settlement above the salt mines, but has grown because of the menhir. The palace walls and towers cover the entire hill. Is the cure to the wretched plague within? Your daughter distracted from your thoughts. Dad, why do you look at the city as if it's near to you? You looked at the city as you answered her. I'm trying to read the flags on the steepless. They tell you which rules are in effect and what's going on in the kingdom. A Berkanan flag, for example, would be sign of a large-scale war. How they butts in. The flags were the first thing I saw. From what I can tell, I do well to remain Hode for now. My grandfather's in town and we've had a disagreement, to put it mildly. Gleda rolls her eyes. So what? It's not bad to be Hode, especially if you survive all this. On the other hand, Prince Ho would never have faced such perils. You turn to Hode. Adventure and peril are tempting until you face them in real life. It's one thing to listen to stories in a tavern, but living through a tale of wounds and blood is entirely different. The smart thing to do would be to find a safe hideout and lie low. Hode chuckles, and this coming from a man who has more scars on his body than I've had drunken revels. You interrupt the soldier. Enough talk. Hold your tongues while you're at the gate. I will speak with the guards and Hode try to be as unassuming as possible. The commander of the guard approaches you and requests to see your papers. He leaves for them, eyeing your party suspiciously, Hode especially. Oh, he recognized him. Traveling from Albius? I see. Well, your papers are in order. Please see me one by one. By German law, your swords must receive a seal at the gate. You may remove this seal only upon leaving the city. And you, boy, you'd make a fair bit of coin at the court of the German king. You're the spitting image of his grandson. I hear it quite often, but I'm afraid I must decline. It would be unwise of me to rely solely on a monarch's grace. What if I happen to fall out of favor? I'd rather avoid the courts and throne rooms as much as possible. You shouldn't show your faces in the palace if you don't expect to find yourselves in the king's good graces. I know all of your names, travelers, so it's time I introduce myself. Shek, commander of the guard, at your service. What use are your services beyond the walls of Ursus? City walls can hardly stop the plague, whether it's a village or the capital itself. The great disaster cares not, poor peasant or wealthy noble, it matters not. Or a commander, you'd rather depend on your own mettle if things go awry, or am I wrong? Well, your papers seem to be in order. You even have one mark from the stockade by the arch. How's my old pal Vegan holding up? He's having a rough time. Masked warriors are launching attacks on the stockade. Happened twice while we were there. We helped Vegan to push them back, but he won't hold out much longer if help isn't sent. So that's how it is. We hadn't even a second to spare for him. Damn it. We need to send in reinforcements. Welcome to Ursus, gentlemen. I'll not detain you a moment longer. Alright. Dick's Inn. This inn belongs to an old friend of yours. Perhaps you should drop by. Well met, Dick. I haven't seen you in ages. Why is this place so empty? It used to be packed. Thorn Brenin, good health to you and a hearty appetite. I never dreamed I'd see you. Oh, and you have company. In truth, I haven't had many clients lately. Such are the times. Well, you can play host now. You're still a good cook, I hope. Arrange to have the table set and come with me. We need to speak in private. Tell me what's new in Ursus. What isn't? An enchanted bell on a no plague and some evil spirits with white masks. Tell me about this charmed bell. The big bell, the one at City Hall, began ringing all by itself as the commotion happened. It went on and on. Anyone sent there was cooked alive, a display of sorcery if I ever saw one. It's been ringing in Albius unendingly too. Wait, it's not ringing now, is it? Aye, the bell just started ringing all by itself, then it stopped just as suddenly. If anyone knew why, they sure kept quiet about it. Not like your story about Albius is that special either. A merchant from Hyborg stopped by yesterday, said the same thing happened there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same all over Terminum. One can only guess what happened and why. Since the plague reached Ursus, townsfolk say the contagion has spread everywhere. At least the temple servants have ointment for that. They won't give you a supply of it, but they'll put some on your neck. They've got loads of the stuff. Seems like they were prepared for all this. Did a demon appear here? Has anyone gone mad? Gods forbid. What are you saying, telling such horrific tales? Although there were rumors that a reaping was coming. You know that old legend? But those who spoke of it were brought to heel by the king right away. No good comes from spreading panic among the common folk. So, the king says there's no reaping, none at all. Not in Ursus, nor anywhere else. Perhaps it's for the best. The mass killers are the Enses? Enses? Schmenses? I have no idea. What I know is that a couple of days ago some really evil spirits slunk into town, killed an awful lot of good folk before the guards took them down. They're still hunting the rest of them in the forest around the city. What evil spirits are you talking about? Perhaps it's just Frisian spies. Do I look like a fool to you? Frisians are still people, even if they've been touched by the gods one too many times. Those corpses, on the other hand, are absolute vermin. Who knows how many still lurk in the city? The king's not tighten security on a whim. Then why are you keeping your inn open? What if they attack again? Bite your tongue. I'm keeping my place open by order of His Majesty. It's to, how did they put it, to prevent the daily lives of the common folk from being disturbed and stem the spread of unwanted rumors. Damn these troubles. Let's talk of something else. Whatever you say, friend, what would you like? Why do you have Berkan flags here in Ursus? These golden heads are talking of war, something about the Northerners testing the strength of our borders. As soon as Spring Tree returns, he'll lead the allied Berkan army. Our king, God's protect him, is a bit too old for the thick of battle. Where could the prince be on the eve of war? Why isn't he leading troops in the capital? The prince hasn't been on speaking terms with his father for a couple of years. Some kind of argument apparently. They'll have to reconcile now that war is looming. The army will gather here instead of at the capital since we're closer to the border and all. Prince Tree will return. He has no choice. We should have a bite to eat, then get to work. Consider it done, and then you'll tell me the news. Where you've been, what you've seen. Wait, what's that noise outside? Expecting some company? Dad, there's a squad of guardsmen dismounting. Someone's with them. Uncle. Bran Wichty. Damn it. If he's got guards, we'd rather avoid confrontation altogether. Dick, is there some kind of back entrance? Bran and I can't stand each other. I'd rather it not come to blows. Those are no guards, Thorn. More like your brother-in-law's hired goons. They pretend to guard the city, but they're just a bunch of cutthroats. Shek would only lend guards to Bran over his dead body. You decide what to do. Do you cautiously keep your distance, or do you look your son enemy in the eye? Dick, we're moving out. We still need to visit Anda. What about the horses? We left our stuff there. Yes, I'll look after your horses. They'll be at the stables near the gate. You can come get them anytime. Get going already. Hodder's been on edge since you entered the city. It would be a good idea to see what's gotten into him. You've been a bundle of nerves since we arrived in Ursus. Afraid they'll notice you? Cover your face with a rag or something. No one will bother looking at you. Shek's already noticed me. What could bring the commander of the guard down to the gate, I wonder? I didn't even understand what you were talking about. I think Shek offered to lend us a hand, and Hode, the proud boy, turned him down. Not the brightest idea, if you ask me. At least Shek didn't give us away. Don't you understand we're at his mercy? Maybe he's trying to profit by selling me out to my grandfather. What's done is done. We just need to be more careful next time. How'd you manage to get into a fight with your grandfather? Same as all his other grandkids. Stepping out of line gets you more than you bargained for. Even my dad tries to stay out of Grandpa's sight. That's why he hid me away and is lying low himself. The royal families not teach children to respect their elders. It's not just your well-being that should be on your mind, but that of the whole kingdom. I kept to myself until I was 17. Then they got the idea to marry me off to a Gabonan princess. She was 15 years older and ugly as a reaper. I don't want to spoil the general bloodline with generations of hideous hairs. Well then, I have no more questions. I've seen that princess of yours. I'm still having nightmares. Your father ought to give us a handsome reward. I mean, by protecting you. We're protecting the whole Cherana. The reaping is upon us. Shouldn't you get back to the palace? If my father were here, maybe I would have risked it. I won't be going in front of my grandfather alone. I've been sent to join the Albius company to sort myself out and learn to respect my elders. Can't exactly get up and leave, can I? Old Koja's not cruel enough to execute his own grandchild now, is he? If we don't part ways now, you're likely to take a straight arrow to the head. That'd be the end for me. Oh, I'll be off the hook, but if my grandfather realizes it was you who got us out of Albius and then dragged us from one end of the kingdom to the other, your life's on the line. My pleas to the king will fall on deaf ears. We need to get through to my father if we want to sort this out. All right, I get it. I've heard enough about how much the king of Jarana values the lives of others. I won't be risking my neck. Won't you get us into trouble? Why would I? I don't want any trouble. I'm good at following orders and keeping my nose clean. I'm concerned your father might send a search party or two. Since you're not home yet, he might think that I'm holding you hostage. That is exactly why sending me away isn't the brightest idea. If I remain by your side, I can put in a good word for you during the inquiry. Makes sense. You should stick with us, I suppose. Just don't get yourself killed. We've still got some unfinished business. Loyalty increased. Okay. What else do we have here? We must determine the condition of the local manure. This house, a burnt down house draws your attention. Inspect it and the other houses nearby. What kind of battle took place here? Gleda also looks around. Why do you think there was a battle? A broken door and some shattered windows? Seems pretty normal during a fire. You chuckle, and why would the firefighters besiege the house? See the arrows stuck in the walls by the windows, and all this blood on the pavement? They didn't even try to wash it off. Ursus may be less safe than I thought. Gleda looks around, and here I was wondering why the streets are so empty. Almost no travelers at the gate too, but the town swarming with guardsmen. What's going on here? It's already over, you corrector. Otherwise, they'd not have let us into the city or ordered to seal our weapons. We need to ask the locals what happened. Guards stop you by the menu. No trespassing. Sorry, but those are the temple's orders. Fret not, it's far from the first time we close it off. Just let it regain its power and it will start healing people again. For now, it's off limits. You have to leave. Even if you had been able to bribe the guards, buying off a temple servant is unfathomable. You remember the local menu losing its power occasionally, but this time it's particularly troublesome. Okay, what can we buy? While resting heals 2 levels of injury per day. I don't need that. I can't get this. I don't need Strixis. Let's buy this thing. No, let's not buy anything. You find Unda's house and knock on the door. There's no answer, but the door slowly swings open. You enter. The house seems empty, but the door to the courtyard is open. You feel like you should be on your guard. Hold it. Watch the entrance. No telling who else might want to pay us a visit. I don't like it here. What's that smell? Potions? Alright, let's check the courtyard. If Onda isn't there, it means we've missed her again. Okay. You see a woman by the stone table in the courtyard. She notices you and flinches. If you're looking for Onda, she's not here anymore. I'm her daughter, Philia, but I don't deal in healing or fortune telling. Please leave. Gleda steps forward. Chila sent us. She told us Onda could offer help. She also asked us to tell you that the source should be preserved. Philia closes her eyes for a moment and then looks to the table. You draw closer and notice a message chalked into the stone. Behind you. You hear a scream coming from inside and turn sharply. Answers swarm from the house in droves. You ready your weapons and notice that Philia is gone. Perhaps it's for the best. She just get in your way. Oh, ambush. Ambush. So I'm going to take rambling. Yeah. Let's go. Okay. put you here. Okay, that's it. Okay, stop. Oh my god, okay. I'm going to give you shelter. I'm going to move here. 6, okay. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. I am going to kill you. Okay. I'd like to kill this guy. Nice. Okay, I'm going to leave that. I think I'm going to move here and kill this guy. That was nothing. still have 10 defense, which is amazing. I think I'm going to move here. Okay. Okay, you're dead. I'm gonna move here. Oof. There you go. That's nothing. I am going to kill you now. Hopefully. And one. Just one. Got another card. A few level ups. You rush into the house after the battle and find Hode laying against the wall. He sits in a pool of blood, a blade shot stuck in his chest. An answer with a knife protruding from its eye lies nearby. Hode smiles. Managed to get him, he whispers. Bastard didn't know who he was dealing with. Philia pushes you away. She's holding some kind of flask. Let me through. The wound's severe. Don't get in my way. Get out of here. You leave Hode in the care of Philia, a healer as luck would have it, and return to the backyard. You look over the Ansa corpses and wonder if you should leave right now. Will the gods show the prince mercy? The healer interrupts your thoughts. Philia looks exhausted but fulfilled. He'll leave. It may take a week to sleep it off, but he'll be okay. You need to find him a good healer, though. Fixing him up was tough. Definitely not a job for amateurs. Many thanks for saving me are in order. And we should thank you. If we're done with the pleasantries, I've got a couple of questions for you. What were those ancients doing here? Hiding. They were here for several days. They weren't going to kill me, but they wouldn't let me go either. I cooked for them, dressed for their wounds, and diverted those who came sneaking about. If I hadn't made myself useful, they'd have killed me right away. They probably still would have eventually. They were lucky. Onda's house would be the last one guards would check. From what I've heard, many find your mother intimidating. Some even say she's a witch. Why'd your guests leave the door unlocked? You'd have to bring them back to life to get an answer. Perhaps they wanted practice and beat off more than they could chew. In any case, they're gone. Such fear they caused me. Let me catch my breath.
Hey.
Did Unda teach you healing? If you'll keep quiet, I'll tell you this. There is no Unda. Never has there been one. I did all the healing. Unda was a kind of scarecrow. I fed the citizen rumors of the witch, so most people avoided my house. That's all I really wanted. Amazing, so it was you who started the romance and pretended to be her daughter. Very clever, I grant you that. The only other option is to become a court physician. The king collects everything of quality. There are more temple servants in the palace than fleas on a stray dog. You know how they treat healers like me? We don't have the Inquisition here like in the north, but they surely make life miserable for me. What source was Chila referring to? There is no simple explanation. It's all foreign. The Rimpings, the Reapers. This land used to have a power all its own, but it's dormant now. Very few still possess it, but it lives in your daughter. Chila does not make mistakes. Are you saying my daughter is special in some way and requires protection from whom or what? From those who seek her power or wish to destroy it or use it for their own ends. Do not ask me, just protect your daughter. Who is Chila? I cannot expose such secrets, but I will tell you this. She is my mentor, my guardian, and more. If she says something, you'd better listen. She didn't say much. If you're her student, have you any counsel to offer? What should I do? How can we cure the plague? Is it even possible? Can we hope for divine assistance? Do not ask for divine intervention, for the gods give not. The menace offer no cure when rip time is upon us, as they absorb the poison from the air. There are other stones, hidden but protected. They offer salvation. You must go to Opakum as soon as possible. Thank you. I've learned a lot. What are you going to do now? I don't know yet. I need to wrap my hand around it. Will you let us stay and rest? Wait, what's that noise out there? As you enter the house, you hear a muffled voice. Thorn Brenin, by order of the king, you are under arrest. Open the door or we'll knock it down. Don't even think of fleeing. We have guards outside and at the neighboring houses. You turn to Philia. Can you lead us out of here or at least save my daughter? Do you remember Chila's advice? Philia bites her lip and thinks for a moment. No, I can't lead everyone out. Only Greta. Give me your hand, girl. Time is of the essence. Greta hesitates for a moment, then meets your solemn gaze. She nods and follows Philia into the courtyard. You watch your daughter walk away, then take Hode into your arms and go out into the street. A whole crowd of guards, mercenaries, and other soldiers waits for you. Beside their commander stands Bran Wichty. He grins with malice when he sees you. Prince Ho perished? No, he's only wounded. Guards, lift him up carefully and take him to the palace. Oh, Thorn, pray that he lives. We've no proof of your other offenses just yet, but if the prince dies, there's no denying your role in that. In that case, we should say our goodbyes, Check. Whatever happens to the prince now, there's no hope of a fair trial for my other offenses if Bran has a hand in this. You listen to him, Shek. And you call yourself a commander. Search the house. He had his daughter with him. She's hiding somewhere. Find her. Uh, Teach your wife to make soup, though I doubt any woman would have you. Boys, lead the prisoner to jail and shoo away the onlookers. The guards separate you from your companions and lead you away. You hear Bran swearing frustration. With a heavy heart, you follow the guards to a gloomy building. The gates squeak open and you soon find yourself behind bars. The other cells are empty. You decide to rest, but in a couple of hours, Shek and Bran return to pay you a visit. That's the thing, Thorn. Rules dictate that I allow your relatives to visit you. Bran Wichty is technically your brother-in-law, and he insisted that a meeting be arranged. Just indulge him, all right? At times, even family ought to be avoided. This is one of those times. Bran, come to mock me? Aren't you afraid, Bran? After all, I'm neither shackled nor beaten half to death. You find it funny, do you? Well, I've got some news that will turn that smile upside down. Some of it directly concerns your fate, and the rest is about your son, your daughter, and your father-in-law. Where should I start? Tell me about Makt. Makt has been hanging around the Odolan King's court, hasn't he? Don't you know that he took a small detachment of Frigga to assist the Crown Prince of Isana? Despite a shining display of courage, he was finally captured by cannibals, my dear Thor, man-eaters. You lie. Oh, why would I ever do such a thing? It's hardly a secret and easily proven. Word from Frigga spreads fast. Oh wait, you're in prison. Not sure how I could have forgotten that. Well, I guess you just have to take my word for it. Well, whatever. What do you want to hear next? Tell me about Stockett victim. My papa and I were saddened to learn that my dear sister has, how should I put it, passed on. That's probably old news to you. Were she still with us, you wouldn't have fled Albius without her. Nevertheless, Count Stockett-Wichtig grieves deeply over the loss of his daughter. Father would probably also ask Tanner when he arrives in Opacum. Who knows, maybe we'll learn something new. Don't worry, I'll tell you all about it, if I make it back before your execution, that is. Licky's death is no fault of mine. Don't hold out hope of the news being a death blow to your father. He might be old, but he's a tough nut to crack. You're just out to make me the villain, aren't you? At least I haven't killed any of my kin, unlike someone I know. Well, whatever. What do you want to hear next? Tell me about Greta. The actual news is that I'll find her very soon. No need to thank me. Family has to look after each other after all. Thinking about this poor child's tribulations, I can't help but weep. All alone in the world, no place to call home. Or maybe you don't give two pins about your own daughter. That's good news, actually. You don't know where Greta is, which means I've no cause for concern. You don't really think I'm going to reveal the whereabouts of the woman who, along with my son, deprived you of inheritance, do you?
Mm.
Such detestable insinuations. Your words wound me. I'm simply concerned with the well-being of my niece. Need I remind you that I am a representative of the kingdom of Odalach and advisor to the king of Jirana? Perhaps I should ask the executioner to take his time with your head, 3 chops instead of 1 or 5. Our executioner has mastered his craft, only takes 1 clean cut. He knows full well that I'll send him packing if he doesn't do his job properly. After all, I'm a commander of the guard here. Never thought I'd be glad to hear those words, but thanks, Shaq. Well, whatever. What do you want to hear next? Tell me about my fate. Your fate is no surprise. Prince Trig sent a carrier pigeon requesting you be detained. And so, you have been. Why in the world did you take his son with you? Now the king wants your head, obviously. It's not like he has an endless supply of grandchildren. Bran's right on this one, Thorn. Pray to the gods that Prince Ho awakens before you are executed. Maybe it'll soften the king's heart and he'll commute your sentence to lifelong imprisonment. I hope the gods show mercy and that Prince Ho, gets well soon. Just make sure to find a good healer, someone capable. It seems the axe is already being sharpened for me. No more news for today, Thorn Brenin, or for the rest of your life. See you at the scaffold. Wouldn't miss it for the world. You've really gotten yourself in a bind, Thorn. They'd need 2 executions just to get even. Trig's letter also said that you killed some local guardsmen and townsfolk when you fled Albius. Guess it's a good thing you can't die twice. Pity about your companions on the floor below. Though their fate's not sealed yet, they could join the penal company and scrub their records clean with blood. They've been under your command, haven't they? Thanks for the tip, Shek. I'll relay the message during the execution. Now please leave me to my thoughts. I have a lot on my mind. Sorry, can't do it. The law states that you're required to bathe. You need to be clean for the execution, physically at least. Peering into the cell next door, the moment I step out to wash, they give me a cellmate. A girl, no less. Hey, who are you? What are you in for? It's no concern of yours, old fart. May the demons take you away. How foolish of me to hope for solitude in prison. It's rife with morons. Or are you just too shy to take a lick? Go for it. I'm not looking. I've seen enough already.
Hey.
What's that crest on your sleeve? That's the Wichtig coat of arms. Don't tell me you're Bran's bodyguard. Oh, you weren't just ogling, but actually looking. You know your heraldry. Wait a moment. Are you Thorn Brenin? That maggot Bran's brother-in-law and arch-enemy? I must be his enemy. He considers me such. Rivalry, just as affection, is strongest within a family. Till death do us part. You seem to be the loser of this rivalry. You're in prison and Bran is not. All you can do now is keep calm and think happy thoughts. Can't think of anything happy right now. My wife is dead, my daughter's gone, my son is missing. I think he's in trouble. My country is plagued by the reaping and I'm awaiting execution, and that's just the beginning. Some trouble you got into, you man. Tell you what, everyone's got something to weep about. Dwelling on the simpler things will make you feel better. For example, I hit a certain bastard in the balls. That's a pleasant thought right there. Brand Weekly getting killed by his own bodyguard? Unbelievable. Let me guess, you're from Raidona, aren't you? You must be an acolyte of the Monastery of Assassins, the abode of the humble, isn't it? What made you serve what did you call him, a maggot? You have keen eyesight and a keen mind. Is there anything sweeter than freedom? My sister and I were acolytes in the monastery. Yes, the only way to live was to be hired. Ironic, isn't it? My desire for freedom led us to serve Bran. Who knew that he'd turn out to be such a bastard? He started hitting on me. It'd be one thing if he were capable, but he's just a soft-cock in fancy breeches. Said he'd flog me to death if I started talking too much. I've no plans to stay here much longer. Will you turn into a bird and fly through the bars? Don't you want to fly away with me? Just say the word, unless of course you're going to be asleep. That's exactly what I'm going to do now, sleep. So let's conclude this pleasant exchange of ours. You may be right, the soldier's first rule, sleep whenever you can.
Finding the key for a tricky lock is sometimes easier than finding the right approach with a person. Dissonant words are like broken tools.
All right. I'm going to call it here. That was quite a ride. We reached Ursus with Thorn Brenin, but we've been imprisoned. Let's see if we can get out, or maybe Hopper Rouley will help us if he arrives in time before the execution. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching and see you in the next episode. Take care, bye bye.